Once again for GUE TV, it's Dean Laffan. I'm here with a guy some of you may know. It's a man that needs, I don't know, a guy that needs no introduction, but I'm going to give him one anyway. It's Jarrod Jablonski, of course, founder of GUE, amongst other things.
Okay.
Jarrod, we've just come from the conference at Gainesville, the GUE conference, and now we're here at DEMA, and it's GUE's 20th year anniversary. Winding back 20 years ago, did you ever think it would be like this?
Yeah, it's amazing actually, and since I'm only 25, I think even a bigger accomplishment. Only 5 years working on it, you know.
I think that's fake news, people, but anyway.
No, come on now. No, it was amazing actually. It was a great time. We had a great attendance at the conference. We had a lot of great support. And we had a lot of people that have been around for nearly 20 years, and some even more, so some since the beginning formational years, helping to get the project organized. We ran through some old stuff that was sort of Benjamin Button in reverse, so everybody got to see me standing there looking almost young, and then watch the video when I was actually young. So it was a great time in that regard, and we got a lot of our people together. It's been neat to watch things over the last 20 years develop. It's been a really exciting time period. We spent a lot of time building up a lot of foundational concepts and components for core curriculums, and really starting to establish some of our communities around the world, and getting them all together in that location was really special. I think it felt kind of like a family really getting together for a 20-year family reunion of sorts.
It does kind of have that vibe about it. And folks, don't forget, for the first time we webcast all of the conference, and so underneath this video on YouTube you'll find a link to the catalogue of the presentations. So if you couldn't make it and you didn't watch it live, you'll be able to go and select those. So and get, as Jarrod was saying, the quality of the presentations was fantastic. So do yourself a favour, sit down with a cup of tea or a beer if that's your, depending on the time zone.
Gin and tonic.
Yeah, gin and tonic, and enjoy those. So, I mean, it must be sort of, I don't know if validating is the right word, but a lot of the things that GUE was teaching and what you were espousing at the time wasn't necessarily immediately grasped and popular, but you notice now that there's some things out there that look a lot like what you guys were doing 20 years ago. That must be rewarding, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure not well embraced, and for some of it was messaging difficulty on our side, I suppose. But I think the idea of standardization was really foreign and resisted, if not rejected, by many people. As a training director for other agencies, I experienced that problem. People just really didn't want to create any kind of standard platform, but we really did, because we found a huge value to expedition level diving. Yeah. So our big goal was to establish that platform, and that's really what we've done over the last 20 years. We've really built out a lot of the groundwork, the skeleton as it were, and we've established some really strong communities around the world, and we're beginning to link those up in a much more dynamic way now. So with our expedition report, you're starting to see those projects coalesce together. We had really only about a third of our projects listed this year, but still covered about 34 projects throughout the world. Next year, I think we'll be able to capture a lot more of the actual activities going on. It's really somewhere north of 100 we've got going on a regular basis. Yeah. Some really big stuff like Agadi and Mars, where we're doing a multi-year kind of projects teamed with universities and governments, but then lots of other things, everything ranging from project baseline missions to cleanup projects. Those are all now starting to coalesce in a really dynamic way, and so the next 20 years is really built around fleshing that out to the next degree and really ramping up the community support and the project initiatives that we have going on.
Right, so it sounds like the next 20 years could be as exciting as the last 20.
Well, I hope so. I mean, Jacques Cousteau did it for a really long time, and I wouldn't pretend to be as far along as Jacques Cousteau, but I think he's still a bit of an emblem for me, and I figure since I'm only 30 now, that I've got at least another 50 years.
That's great. We hope you do. We hope we're all around to see that as well. So off the floor of DEMA here, it's goodbye from Jarrod and myself, and we'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, folks.